Stop trying to help them. They do not need your help. They need to figure it out on their own. That is something that you need to lock into your mind because you are literally wasting your life away. You are draining yourself. For some of you all, you're literally destroying your own mental health and your own physical health behind the stress of trying to help somebody who doesn't want to be helped, trying to save someone who doesn't want to be saved, trying to stick beside someone who is frankly content with going down this dysfunctional path called their life. They're content with going down that path on their own, and yet you're trying to stick beside them, trying to help them, trying to support them, and they are exactly who they are supposed to be. And that doesn't mean that who they are is a good person. It doesn't mean that their life is going well. It doesn't mean that they're not dealing with pain, but they are exactly who they're supposed to be. They're living the life that they deserve to live because this is the life that they chose. Their choices have created this life. And yet you continue to try to step in to help them when they don't want to be helped. If they wanted to be helped, they would have helped themselves already by making different choices. If they wanted to be helped, they would have already started doing some things differently. Even if they couldn't all the way change their life just yet, they would have been making consistent, diligent, and intentional choices towards changing their life to show that this is a life that is no longer acceptable for them and that they desire to live differently. But if they're not doing that at all, then this is who they choose to be. And you are hurting yourself by trying to help them. I can tell you from my own experience, I literally gave myself so much stress behind trying to help people who were committed to dysfunction, trying to help people who were committed to living a toxic life, trying to help people who frankly were unsavable. That was a hard thing to accept, but trying to help people who were unsavable. They could not be saved. Their life was already a broken vessel. And there was nothing that I could do in order to repair them or to make it better. But I thought because I loved them, because they were my friend, because they were whoever within my life, and because I had figured out these different things, because I had figured out how to take care of myself financially in certain ways, because I had figured out how to work through my own mental stuff, because we all deal with anxiety, we deal with our own stuff. So I had figured out how to work through my stuff because I had figured out these different areas of my life that they seemed to be challenged by. I thought that it was my responsibility to help them. But what I had to realize was that it wasn't my responsibility. What it really was a sense of survivor's remorse. I felt like because I got out of this negative place, because I moved into a better place in my life, because my life looked good, that it was my responsibility to help you get to the same place that I'm at. But the key difference between those people and me, those people and you, is that we made the choice to help ourselves. And even when others chose to help us, we chose to accept that help and apply that help in a beautiful way. But what these other people do who do not deserve your help, what they do is they meet your help with rejection. They will reject your help. They meet your help with resentment. So you're trying to help them and they're resenting you. They meet your help by arguing with you about it. Anytime that you find that you have to force your help on someone, you got to argue your help on someone, you've got to push them to see your perspective when the proof is in the pudding right in front of their face that you know what you're doing in this particular area. Like, can't you see I know what I'm doing in this area? Why won't you let me help you with this? If you got to force your help on someone, then they don't deserve your help. They deserve to live the life that they're currently living, and they deserve every single consequence that comes with that life. Because this is the life they're choosing. And while that life may not be sufficient for you, while if you were to live that life, it would feel like downright hell for you. That doesn't mean that it feels like that for them. You have to understand that some people find they're satisfied with living the way they live. And even when they tell you they want to live different, if their choices don't reflect that they want to live different, then they are satisfied with how they're living. And you've got to be okay with that. And if you can't be okay with that, then you have to create some distance with that person so that you don't have to see their choices anymore. But above all, you have to stop trying to help them. Have you ever noticed that the people who are the most dysfunctional, the people who obviously need somebody's help, if not your help, they need somebody's help the most, are generally people who are least likely to accept it and least likely to do anything with it? What does that tell you? These people don't deserve your help. And I want to take it a step further. It is arrogant of you to believe that it's your responsibility to help them, that you are the person who was placed on this earth to help them. This is their life, and these are the lessons that they need to be learning in this moment in time. And even if they go to their grave living within the consequences of continued poor choices, that was the destiny that they chose for themselves, and they deserve to live within that life. Who made you their savior? Because half the time while we're trying to save other people, there are parts of our life that need saving. There are things within our own world that need our attention. They're not getting our attention. So rather than putting your energy into trying to help them, trying to change them, trying to motivate them to be something different or more, how about you take that same energy and point it into you, because you deserve your own help. You deserve to be empowered with your goodness. You deserve to be uplifted. You were given this knowledge, this intelligence, these resources that you had that you're giving to other people. You were given this for you. It was never for them. What's for them is for them to earn. What's for them is for them to create. What's for them is for them to attract with their own good choices. If they don't have it in their life, then it's because they don't deserve it, because they didn't make the choices to get it. But you made the choices to get the intellect. You made the choices to make that money. You made the choices to get the resources that you're giving to other people. Now it's time to direct it towards yourself, and it's not selfish to do that. It is self-full. Unless your life is perfect in every single way and there's nothing to work on in your life, then you don't have the capacity to be pouring into someone else right now. You need to pour into yourself 100%. Now, I know you're going to say, well, what if they're my kids? What if they're a relative? What if they're someone I'm extremely close to? Well, obviously, if this is your minor child, a minor, then yes, of course, you step in and help them at the level that is appropriate for you as a parent, but you still have to set boundaries so that you're not over functioning. Just because they're a teenager does not mean that they should not deal with the consequences of their poor choices. Just because they're your spouse, or just because they're your parent, or just because they're your cousin or your whoever, doesn't mean that they should not face the consequences of their poor choices. You say, well, I just want to help them because of this, because of that, because of the other. I don't know if you're spiritual or not, but in the Bible it says, don't cast your pearls among swine. That means don't cast your most valuable thing, your help. Don't cast your most valuable resource among someone who's not going to value it. And sometimes the people, in a lot of cases, the people who value our help the least are the people that we're closest to. You will have family members who will truly value your help, and friends who will truly value your help, and they will love it. They will make the most of it. They will be grateful. They will pour back into you and help you when you need it as well. But you will also have some who frankly won't do that at all. They will mess over it. They will resent you. And worst of all, they will act entitled to it. And then when you stop helping them, they get mad at you for stopping helping them. That's their problem, not yours. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. Not me, not you, not the next person. So with the finite and frankly unknown amount of time that we have on this earth, doesn't it make sense to direct that time and that energy into being the best you that you can be? Doesn't it make sense that rather than taking that hour and a half to be on the phone with that person and have them vent to you about the poor choices that they continue to make, and you trying to help them by giving them advice, doesn't it make sense to take that same time, that emotional energy, to put your phone on silent and not answer their calls because you know what they're calling about, and to put that energy into helping you, even if it's just sitting down and watching TV or going to meditate? It's empowering to you. Doesn't it make sense to take the money that you've been pouring into trying to help someone else who consistently makes poor choices, which keeps them within this same life of needing money from other people? Doesn't it make sense to take that money and utilize it for yourself and for whatever it is you're working on within your world? Even if you just leave it in your bank account, it's yours. You could do that. You have to make the choice to decide to put yourself first. And you cannot put yourself first if you are helping people who don't want to be helped, if you're trying to save people who don't want to be saved. Let them live in the consequences of their choices. And if you don't want to see it, then stop being in relationship with them so that you don't have to see it. Or just set clear boundaries that no matter what they go through, you will not step in to help them. Make the choice, because your future depends on this.